So today we are going to talk about an interesting topic. Today we are going to talk about correct decision making. It's going to be a longer video because we are going to talk about how you can make better decisions. I hope you love this video. If you love this video, put a comment down below, like, subscribe, enjoy. Before we are starting to talk about what is correct decision making, we need to understand what is bad decision making. Bad decision making is really easy to detect. A bad decision making is things that you didn't plan to occur. It's misidentification of possible outcomes and results, things that you didn't plan accordingly. So I myself have not studied psychology, but I'm really intrigued by psychology. And if any one of you studied psychology, I'm sure you've heard about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory that helps identify and recognize and pinpoints psychological health issues and the reason for them. So, what is the reason that I'm telling you about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? So, if you'll take a bit of look about how it looks, you'll see that Maslow's hierarchy of needs talks about needs that we have to have in order to reach our self-actualization. Only once you are reaching all these needs, only once you are having all these needs fulfilled, what you'll see is that you'll reach the final phase, let's say, the final level of self-actualization. And as you know, only once you are free, only once you are having full of yourself, only once you have self-esteem, only once you're having all the safety needs, physical needs as food, water, warmth and rest, only then you can be happier. Now let's see what we can do in order to reach our final level, let's say. In order to reach the final level, let's say, you need to take different steps toward your goal, towards boosting your self-esteem and then reaching self-actualization. Let's see what you can do in order to make correct decisions. One thing that I've talked in another video is something called meditation. Maybe some of you have heard the story of the bubble boy. It's a story about a kid called David Vetter. This kid had really problematic immune system in his body. His immune system was so bad that he needed to live inside a bubble. The reason for that is that if David would not have lived in his bubble, he would die pretty much immediately, because any germs that would have reached to him would kill him. What's the reason that I'm telling you this story, you are asking? I'll tell you why. We have different immunology systems. One system is the physiological immune system. In order to reach the best level of physiological system, you need to exercise, you need to practice. That's obvious. Another system we have is the vaccine immune system. This is biochemical system that we have in our body that helps us detect and fix problems within our blood, within our health. That's also a non-immune system. But here's one that you probably wouldn't think about: the mental immune system. And this is where meditation comes in. You see, we are scared to die, we have anxious problem, we are sometimes not compassionate about others, we are sometimes making bad decisions. But what if I told you that you are not the one that makes bad decisions, you are not the one that is scared of death, you are not the only one that is anxious about things? This is where meditations comes in. Meditations offer practices. Meditations offer awareness and focus on specific properties that you want to have. Meditation can help you forge your mind and help you in different situations in life. So that's one thing that is really important. Just try meditation and you'll see the positive effects on you. Another way to know if you're making a correct decision, or if you're planning to make any decision, is to advise your friends, advise a family member, because they are like third-party observers. But there is one slight problem with it. The problem is that we people are really incapable of listening to others. We have this thing called ego, and we are just incapable of receiving other people's advices. Another thing is that we are just want to make our failures by ourselves. So instead of advising other people by ourselves, let's see 2 ways that you can do in order to advise yourself. So one way that you can advise yourself instead of others, it's a meditation practice that comes from the culture of Stoicism, and it's contemplating your personal sage. What does it actually mean? So everyone has a role model. For me, my personal role model is my dad. So instead of asking my dad what he thinks that I should do, I would actually think to myself, what would my dad actually do? So that's one way you can go about it. The other way is a technique that I learned from my CBT psychologist. And I'm really not a psychologist, but this technique really affected me in an interesting way. Let's start doing this technique. It will take just a minute. So first, stand up. Have an environment with some space, not next to bed, not next to anything. And close your eyes. Now think about some big decision that you have, or even small one. And then think what you yourself would do in this decision. What path would you take? Now, take an actual step backward and feel like you're seeing your previous self in front of you. And think to yourself, what would the current you would do that the previous you did wrongfully? Now, you can do it multiple times. You can go back another step and think about what the current you would do better than the previous 2 of you, and it can go into more and more levels and more layers of interesting ways. It's actually from the NLP sector. So this is the first part of 2 videos that I'm making about correct decision making. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked, comment down below, subscribe and click on the like button. Enjoy!